What's going on, everybody? K to the 2 here with week 4 of the NPL. This week we are going up against Cheese Boys 628 and the Phoenix Sunkern. Today we have a pretty well, his record may not seem the best at 1-2. He is an amazing player, and his team may not be overly threatening, but I know that he can put together something. He can throw something together really fast in order to take my team on as well as possible, because he does have that Mega Metacham. Mega Metacham is a big problem, not just for my team, but for the whole league, because it is so powerful, and sometimes you just don't know how to play around it. So we're going to see how that works out today. Anything else? I think I have to apologize for having this video go up so late, because it is about a week late. So I'm sorry, but real life kind of sucks, because, you know, you gotta work, and you gotta do stuff and things. Anyway, let's get into the game plan. First of all, I want to remove that Suicune, because Suicune is a big problem. Suicune does have the ability to set up Calm Minds. It can roar my team around in case I want to set up on it, as well as it's just bulky. As soon as Suicune comes into play, it puts a stop to my my Azumarill, which is Choice Scarf this week. And in order to do that, I am using a kind of a cancerous Gothitelle set. I am running Choice Scarf with Trick, Substitute, Toxic, and Reflect. This is to trick it a Choice Scarf, hopefully lock it into Calm Mind or Sleep Talk if it already has a rest up. And then I can wear it down going for Sub and Toxic and all that, and then on the turn that is going to go down, I can go for a Reflect, possibly to help limit Mega Metacham, which is one way that I'm going to try and limit Mega Metacham. However, I do have Protect on both Rotom Wash and Skarmory. I have Protect on Rotom just for that situation, but I do have Protect on Skarmory mainly for Darmanitan. Mega Metacham is a big problem, mostly because, well, as I already said, it just wrecks teams on its own. There's not much you can do, and if I let it run through my team, I really don't have a chance at winning. And lastly, we have cleanup late game with a sweeper. Now, in order to do this, I have two primary options and possibly a third. Number 1 and 2 being Infernape and Sylveon. Infernape is just going to be, I believe it's Expert Belt this week, but it does have Fire Blast. It has Grass Knot in order to hit Suicune. If it's already low, it can kill it. It kills Donphan. I have Fire Blast just because it's powerful, and I have the Vacuum Wave in order to deal with a Cloyster. So if I want to get rid of a Focus Sash, I have Stealth Rocks on it as well if I force a switch. I also have Calm Mind Sylveon, and if I am able to remove its threats, whatever it may be, I think that might be like Escavalier. That's the only one I can really think off the top of my head, because it does a considerable amount of work to his team. So we are going to, I don't know, let's just hop right into this battle. Alright, so getting right into the match, I'll go ahead and explain exactly what I'm bringing this week. First of all, I'm bringing a Choice Scarfed Azumarill. You might be wondering why. Why would you bring Choice Scarfed Azumarill? Well, number one reason is it's my best way of handling Mega Metacham from an offensive pressure standpoint. If he finds out at any point that I'm scarfed throughout the match before I kill his Mega Medicham, that might be really bad. However, just the fact that it's choice scarfed, and the only way he's going to outspeed it if he's Jolly max speed, which most of them, especially against my team, would tend to run Adamant, just because he doesn't really lose anything by going Adamant over Jolly, because Azumarill hits 327 speed, because I'm Jolly max speed with a choice scarf. So yeah, I'd be able to kill this thing with a Play Rough, right off the bat, if I can. Also, he has the Goodra, which unfortunately he didn't bring, and instead he brought Escavalier and Scrafty, which both of those I wasn't really expecting, mostly because I already have two, or just Infernape deals with both of them. Like, looking right off the bat, Infernape is going to put in a whole lot of work this match. As soon as I get any sort of chip damage on Medicham, Fire Blast kills. I have Vacuum Wave, which always kills Cloyster. I have Grass Knot, which always kills Donphan. I have Grass Knot, which does a whole lot to Suicune. Fire Blast kills that, and as soon as I get a little bit of chip damage, Vacuum Wave should be able to kill Scrafty. Next up, I'm bringing Skarmory. This is physically defensive Skarmory, and I am bringing Brave Bird on it in order to deal with Medicham. However, I know he's not going to leave it in, ever, because he has switch-ins to Skarmory. Main reason I have Skarmory is just to be there, to be a physical wall, just to take hits. Other than that, it doesn't really seem to do a whole lot. Next up, I'm bringing the Calm Mind, Wish, and 2 attacks. Sylveon, max, max defensive. That way I can take any sort of Poison Jab, kill Medicham, basically do a whole lot of work to his entire team outside of Escavalier, because Escavalier, if I had brought like HP Fire Sylveon, I would have just won outright with it, as long as I still was able to not get 2-hit KO'd by Poison Jab or Bullet Punch. So yeah. And then I'm also bringing a specially defensive Rotom, because that was my best switch into Goodra. I'd be able to live whatever it could go for. Willow on the Power Whip if he had it. And then I could Pain Split up or Volt Switch out. And lastly, I'm bringing the Choice Scarf Gothitelle set like I said I was going to. So let's go ahead and get right into the match. Lead matchup. I see right away that he most likely is going to lead with Medicham. So right off the bat, I'm going to lead with Azumarill. He's going to go ahead and Mega Evolve, go for the Fake Out. Of course, right off the bat, you can tell that does 31%, leaving me at 69%. He got a max roll, which tells me indeed that he is Adamant. That was the absolute maximum damage he could get on a Fake Out. So if he got a min roll, it would have been kind of like in that gray area where I wouldn't be able to quite tell if he was Adamant or Jolly. Either way, he's Adamant. Get right into it, Kyle. So he switches out. Not quite sure why. Maybe he suspected that I was Scarfed right then. So I'm not able to get the surprise KO with Play Rough. And instead he switches in Suicune. And right here he's actually going to switch, or he's going to go for the Calm Mind as I switch out into Gothitelle. This potentially could have been scary, however, I do have the trick. I know he's locked in here, and he knows all too well that he needs to switch, he needs to lock himself into Scald or risk getting taken out. So right here, I'm going to set up a Toxic, and right here I have a choice to make. I can either switch into Rotom, risk a burn, and stall this thing just down a little bit to the point where Toxic will end up bringing Suicune down on the same turn that I can bring in Gothitelle and just sack it off to a Scald, or I can set Gothitelle right here and start setting up for free with Sylveon. However, since he does still have his Escavalier at full health, I do not feel like that's the best option, so I'm going to go into Rotom. Rotom was my best play overall. I can take a burn. Burns don't really affect me. I'd rather have it being burned than being toxic. So right here, he's going to keep clicking Scald at +1. That's doing nothing to a special defensive Rotom. I clicked Will-O-Wisp in case he wanted to switch out. And right here, I'm actually going to protect. I'm not quite sure why he left this thing in to continually Scald. He could have switched out at any point. However, I don't think he really wanted anything on his team to take a burn or take damage. So that's why he probably stayed in. But I do feel like his best play would have been to switch Suicune out and save it for later in the match, since it does have a Choice Scarf and it does have the potential to kill Infernape with the Choice Scarf Scald. Anyway, let's get right into it. Right here, I am going to bring in Gothitelle, sack it off, and we have a double down right here. That double down was kind of actually funny because Gothitelle switched out and came back in and still got the kill on Suicune because it toxiced it, and then Suicune ended up killing Gothitelle. So they killed each other in a turn where Gothitelle didn't even do anything. So he's again going to lead Medicham after this double down. And I'm in the position where I feel like I can definitely just win with Infernape. I just need to go ahead and start breaking potential sashes on Cloyster or Donphan, as well as keeping Medicham in check. So, first things first, I know that the fake out is very obvious, and he has already seen that I had Protect, so he might think that I'm going to just go for a Will-O-Wisp or something, but I'm going to click Protect, predicting him to go straight for the high jump kick, and that is indeed what he does, and takes a whole lot of damage. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he missed high jump kick. I kind of want to apologize for that because that really sucked. Because I'm actually going to be able to Willow this and kill it to the burn. So Rotom is in here, max health. It would have been dead. However, I do still have Infernape. Infernape would have still been able to kill Medicham. Any sort of fake out damage it would have gotten off on Infernape would not have mattered. It wouldn't have done that much to Infernape to 2-hit KO it. I don't believe, at least. And Infernape still kind of just swept his team as soon as that happened. So Medicham's going to go down to the burn. I have a full health Rotom in here. I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp. Miss, as he goes for the knockoff. So that miss with Will-O-Wisp kind of sucked because you're going to see right here that he actually has the Lumberry. But then he missed high jump kick again. So I obviously planned for my Pokemon to skillfully dodge high jump kicks to the point where, or from Medicham to the point where if it was from Scrafty it wouldn't have mattered. But again, I do feel really bad for those high jump kicks. Again, it wouldn't have, in my opinion, affected the match too much. But it did make it a little bit easier for me to win this game. He basically had no chance to win this game at this point. It was just me making sure sashes were broken to the point where Infernape can just come in and win. The only chance he has of winning at this point is if I miss Fire Blast on Scavalier. So, this is gonna be what happens to the match. I get the poison, or he doesn't get the poison jab, and I finally do get the Willow off, so that basically just renders his crafty point useless. Right here, sorry about that, interruptions are interruptions. Right here, I'm going to protect to see what he wants to lock himself into, if he indeed is choice banded or whatnot. Not sure. Like, he'd have to be assault vest or choice banded against my team. So I'm going to protect, see what he wants to go for. He does go for the knockoff. As I'm going to go ahead, go into Rotom. I really had no reason to make that play. I could have just saved Rotom for the rest of the match. I kind of wanted to get a burn on this thing, which is probably why I went into it, but staying in with Skarmory was my best play. I should have just done that. Would have made absolutely zero difference. I could have gotten a Brave Bird off against this Escavalier, breaking, if it even had it, a potential Sash, which is why I decided to go back into Skarmory right here on the double, as he goes into Scrafty. That was not a prediction of him going into Scrafty. That was me scouting to see if he had Drill Run, because if he did, and he was Assault Vest with a lot of special defense investment, he would be able to live that and kill with the Drill Run. Instead, though, he makes the play to switch into Scrafty. So I'm sitting in here pretty comfortably as I go ahead and protect. Not really sure why. Right here, I go for Brave Bird. It does 11%. It does more than Leftovers will recover. And he is going to go ahead and, what does he do? He sets up his rocks. Right here, though, I really just want to whirlwind this thing out. Get it out of the way, because I know its sturdy is broken, and if I do that, it's not getting any Leftovers recovery until it comes back in. So as long as I keep it from coming back in, and as long as I keep some sort of chip damage on it, Infernape will be able to kill it with a Grass Knot. So that's indeed what I'm going to do after he knocks me off. I'm going to Whirlwind him out, and in comes the Scavalier. I'm going to go for the Brave Bird, breaking its potential Sash as it goes for another knockoff. I can basically stay in here all day, going for Roost and whatever, but predicting another knockoff, I go into Lemon, as I do not need a Azumarill for the rest of the match. Yeah, so right here I'm going to make the play to go back into Skarmory, because I know he's going to die to burn for like whatever he does, and he is going to go ahead and go into Cloyster. I naturally outspeed him, and I'm going to go for the Brave Bird in case he is sashed, which he most likely is. He would have to be sashed against my team in order to get up a free Shell Smash. So instead of going for a Shell Smash, he goes for the HP Fire. That was actually kind of big, because this just allows me to come in with Infernape and win at this point, because I do have the Vacuum Wave. He did not really feel too high on me running Vacuum, or like a special Infernape. Like, in his live commentary, he kept saying that he was still expecting like a physical Infernape, but nonetheless, that's what happens, and we go ahead and win the match 3-0. Solid victory, kinda hacksy, but in the overall scheme of things, Infernape still would have just won. He could have switched around, going for Fake Out and everything, and by this point, having this much health left, it probably could have done like 40%, but at that point I still had Azumarill and Sylveon, so I had switch-ins overall for Metacham if you ever wanted to Fake Out. Anyway, that was a really good game. Thank you, Cheese Boy, for your match. He's a really great battler. Go ahead and check him out. Well, I mean, he has a bigger channel than I do, so it's mostly going to be people, like, from him. Like, if you... I don't know what I'm saying. I won 3-0 in sort of a frustrating manner for him. And next week, we are going to go ahead and play the San Jose Sharpedos. I'm losing my breath. I've been talking for too long. We are going to play the San Jose Sharpedos for the game of the week. And I am really excited because I know it's going to be a good game. Tom is an incredible player, and I'm really looking forward to play him. So go ahead, look out for that, and thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.